It's time for the Tyson Degenhart Show with Boise State basketball star Tyson Degenhart, sponsored by Idaho Central Credit Union. Find a branch near you or get more information at iccu.com. Now here's Tyson Degenhart with BJ Rains for another edition of the Tyson Degenhart Show on Bronco Nation News.
Hey, Boise State fans, and welcome on in to the Tyson Degenhart Show. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been able to have an episode for you, but we are back and excited to go. And already record viewership tonight, Tyson. So I don't know if it's you or Lexus or what, but we got a big crowd in here, excited to talk some Boise State basketball. We got conference play starting on Friday. Got a couple of big games going on tonight. And how we doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Love this time of year. Love scoreboard watching. Love seeing conference play going on. And we were talking before the show started, already kind of checking the scoreboard and stuff. I mean, you guys don't start till Friday, but seeing these conference results and seeing how teams are doing, I mean, you enjoy this time of year?
Oh, it's the best time of the year. I love conference play. I love the chess match between coaching staffs and just trying to find, ways to stop the opposing team and trying to figure out what they're going to do to you. And it's always fun to go against the same coaches and the same players as last year, and so it should be a lot of fun.
How are you feeling about the team, man? You guys had a little bit of time off since the game against Utah Valley. You've only had like one game in the last 10 or 11 days here with the Christmas break, and then, as I said, Utah Valley. But overall, 9-4 in the non-conference. How are you feeling going into conference play here?
I feel pretty good. Compared to the last 2 years, we don't really have that bad loss on our schedule that we've had in the past, and so our conference has done really well as a whole in the non-con, and it gives us a lot of opportunities to get some of those Q1 wins that the metrics are really looking for. And so we just got to take it one game at a time, though. We see San Jose's going into Laramie, which is a hard place to play, and they're looking like they're going to win. So no cupcake game on Friday. And as last year showed, it's a hard place to play.
Yeah, 65-61. San Jose State is up with 7:03 to go there in Laramie tonight. A lot of comments coming in on the ICCU YouTube chat. Get your comments in. We'd love to hear from you. Lexus Williams going to join us here in just a couple of minutes. Excited to talk to Lex. Holly starts it out, though, says, congrats on your 1,000-point milestone. So huge, Tyson. We love watching you play. That was a pretty cool moment for you the other night, huh, Tyson?
Yeah, it was really cool. I think the best part was my dad got to come down and see the game because his birthday was the following day, and just to have him in the stands is one of my biggest supporters, and it was just a really special moment. And knowing how much time he spent with me in high school, rebounding for me, and just doing all those little things for me, and traveling, paying for plane tickets and all that, it meant the world to have him in the stands.
And I know you and Max both knew you were 20 away going into the game in Spokane, but how aware were you, I guess, of where you stood going into this game? And you mentioned kind of knowing you were 2 away when you went to the free throw line. Was that kind of weighing on you at all? Every basket were you kind of counting, okay, 8, 6, 4? What was that like?
With having Max on our team, he knows a lot of the stats going in, and definitely knew the number coming in. And so that free throw, when I missed, I definitely was in my head about it, needed to make 2, and left the first one short. And I think I'm probably one of the only players ever to have my 1,000th point be on a goaltend.
Do we know of anybody else? I mean, maybe Lex is the historian. We can ask him, but I've never seen one before. Is there anybody else ever had a 1,000th point on a goaltend?
I have no idea. That'd be a good stat to find out. But
I'm sure Jay Tuss will know or something.
We need a Tuss stat for that one.
There you go. Let's see here. Southwest 678 says, congrats on the 1,000. Well deserved. Nathaniel wants to know about your New Year's resolutions. What do we got for the New Year's resolutions, Tyson? I
have 2 main ones. The first one is to be better about procrastinating when it comes to homework and doing the little things around the house. A lot of the time I just let it sit for a day, and then it starts to pile up, and it, just continues to snowball, and it's not very good for me. And so trying to be better about that. And the second one is I actually want to read more. I was a really avid reader in middle school, and I just haven't found that same love. So I'm hoping to find that. I actually went to the bookstore and got some books today. So I'm hoping
Wow.
to start that train up and read a lot more. So
Okay. Wow. How about that? Gonna go. What's the next book of choice then?
it's actually called Discipline of Destiny. Coach Tyler Whitmer recommended it to me, so I'm starting on that. And the first chapter kind of talked about Luke Gehrig and how dedicated he was to the game, and his 2,000 plus games in a row, and that age was pretty remarkable. And I just wonder how long he could have played if it wasn't for ALS.
Well, we're excited to have our friend Lexus Williams coming on here in just a minute. But first, got to thank a couple of our sponsors. Tell us about our friends over at Lean Feast.
Yeah, Lean Feast, my favorite go-to spot for food. Makes it really easy when you're traveling, when you're really busy, and you just pop it in the microwave. 2 minutes, quick and easy meal for either breakfast or lunch.
You looking for a new job? My bad. Sorry.
You're good. But just go check out Lean Feast off of Eagle Road.
I was trying to play put the Lean Feast graphic on the screen there, and I screwed it up. Sorry, Dave. There you go. Leanfeast.com/Meridian. Check it out. 208-487-5782. And I got to tell you, Tyson, all the holiday travel here, I'm putting on a couple pounds. So I'm going to be heading back in and hitting up Dave as soon as we get back to Boise here in the next couple of days. Leanfeast.com/Meridian. And our title sponsor making this show possible, our friends at Idaho Central Credit Union. Was in there the other day, moving some money around. Just so easy to use. And Tyson, I know you're very thankful for your deal with ICCU.
I am. Yeah, I actually cashed a couple of checks right before the show, and their direct deposit makes it really easy. And, they have so many branches around the Treasure Valley area. If you need cash, you can find a local branch near you, and their app makes it very easy to move money around and deposit checks. So go check them out at a branch near you.
We have Lean Feast and we have Idaho Central Credit Union. Thanks again to Shelby and Clark and the whole crew over there. ICCU.com. Check them out. The best in mobile e-branch online banking, and there's a branch pretty much at every corner, like Tyson said. But ICCU.com if you're looking for the best banking in town, and we highly recommend them. All right, introduce our guest here.
Yeah, we have a very special guest from the tweet today. It seems like a lot of people are excited for him. He only played 1 year at Boise State, but now he's on his third year of coaching, and I can't wait to have Lexus Williams on the show. So want to give a very warm welcome to Lex, and thank you for being on the show tonight, Lex.
I appreciate you for having me. Thank you.
Before I turn it over to you and let you ask all these questions, Tyson, I mean, is there a guy that's more famous for in 1 year for one shot than, Lexus Williams we're talking about Boise State. You guys are, potentially by the time you have a next home game, having the longest home winning streak in the nation here next week. And this guy right here ended that at Oregon a couple of years ago. Lex, I know you did a lot more things in your basketball career than just that shot, but you're kind of known for that. At least we still see the highlights of it. Pretty cool.
No, for sure. It was a really cool moment. And you talk about us now, having a chance to have the longest home winning streak. That's a full circle moment. So, that was a good time, a great experience. And, I'll forever be known for that in Boise.
So are you, and by the way, Lisa says he owns Oregon. Yeah, I think you do, Lex. But you guys take the half-court shots at the shoot-arounds every day before you guys have a game. Are you the top half-court guy then, Lex, or who is?
Yeah, I'm one of the top dogs, I would say, for sure.
What do you think, Tyson?
He's definitely one of the top dogs, especially on that coaching staff. But they got some shooters on that team. Duryea can get it going. Burns can get it going. I think a surprise guy for everyone is Matt Charles, our new director of basketball ops. He can shoot it pretty well. And then, of course, Teams makes one, seems like every day.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Teams will let you know if he makes one for like the next month. But
Holly, be on his Instagram.
Holly says, wasn't Lex number 2 also? You guys sharing the same number?
Yeah, we do.
It was cool. Our new athletic or equipment manager, he gave us these new bag tags with our jerseys on them on the back. It showed all the guys that wore number 2 on the basketball program. So it's cool having Lex on there and guys like Derek Marks and Daquan Montreal as well. So very, very cool to be a part of the special number 2 club at Boise State.
Well, that's awesome.
I told Tyson when he got it that you got to be a dog to get that number when he came in as a freshman. So
how's he living up to it so far?
Oh, he's exceeded expectations, so he's doing well.
All right, Tyson, I'm going to dive out of here, let you handle your business here with Lex. Lex, we appreciate you coming on. Tyson, you're a little rusty, man. It's been a month since we've had a show, so I'm going to be critiquing the interview here, man. I'm sure you I hope you bring it here, man, but we'll let you handle this thing. And we got, by the way, we got you're talking about Mountain West basketball, this will be a one-guest show. We usually do two. We'll go a little shorter than usual tonight. I know a lot of people are hoping to watch the New Mexico-Colorado State game tonight at 8:30. So, Tyson, we're going to talk to Lex and then get out of here so everybody can watch that game.
Absolutely. All right, Lex. I know it's the new year. Do you have any New Year's resolution? I know I got asked that. Do you have any for this year?
I usually have a couple, but I only really have two this year. And the first one being, and it's funny that you talked about reading. So usually my one goal every year is to read 12 books. So I try to read a book a month. I think last year I only got to 8. So I got to get back up to speed. And then my second one would be to pray every morning before I leave the house. That's a resolution that I have, and that something I really want to, take pride in and make it a huge priority for me, because I know that I wouldn't be here without my faith and without God. So just want to make sure that I'm worshiping and giving thanks to the man above every day.
Absolutely. Are you 2 for 2 on that then?
Yes, I am.
There you go. That's always a good start. So now kind of want to get into the actual questions. Talk a little bit about your recruiting process coming out of high school. We know you didn't start at Boise State, and then kind of talk about how that transfer portal process was for you coming to Boise State.
Yeah, so as a high schooler, I wasn't really like a highly touted recruit or anything like that. I think if you looked on Rivals or any of those recruiting database websites, I probably was a 2.5, 3-star recruit. So I got my first offer from Valpo, which I ended up taking my junior year, heading into my senior year, and I committed early. But I remember being on the AAU circuit, and there were some schools that were still trying to, talk to me, and there were some Power Fives in there, because I ended up, as a sort of a late bloomer. I think I had been good pretty much, for my basketball career as a young kid and on the AAU circuit playing against top-notch guys, but I was pretty small. I probably came into college weighing 155. I was a small kid, and I think that had a lot to do with why I didn't get recruited super high. But I remember after I did commit to Valpo and I went to Vegas and had a really good showing against some of the top talent. I don't know if you remember this name, but his name is Derek Walton Jr., played at Michigan, starting point guard. Monte Morris, who played in the NBA or is playing in the NBA. Playing against guys like that on the circuit and having a good showing. So there were some Power 5 schools that tried to get in the mix, but, I wanted to stay loyal to Bryce Drew and Valpo and stay close to home so my parents could come and watch me play.
How far is Valpo from your hometown of Chicago?
Without traffic, an hour. And if you speed like me, you can get there in 45, 50 minutes.
How fast is the speed limit then? Because it could be like Texas where you can be going 100 in the right lane and getting past.
Yeah, nah, it ain't that speed limit. The highest it goes is 75.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So you obviously spent 4 years at Valpo, had a really good career, and then what made you want to leave Valpo?
I felt like I was in a situation where I did all I could do. And with me having an extra year because I end up, redshirting as a sophomore, that, the writing was kind of on the wall for me to, take a leap of faith and see if I could do something else. We had got a new coach, Bryce had left and went to Vanderbilt. And we had a new coach, Matt Loddick, who I love to this day. But I just felt like for me as a player, to get better and just have an opportunity to kind of, expand my wings and my network and things of that nature, I think it was time for me to, make that change.
What did you like about Boise State that really made you commit? Because I remember you telling me that when you went into the portal, you're like, all right, the people who call the earliest are the ones that really, really want me. And then that second wave is they're not really that interested. I'm their second option.
Yeah, so it's funny how it all worked out because Boise State wasn't in the market for a point guard early in that process. And I really had to take that into account and deciding to take the visit. At first I didn't really even want to take the visit to Boise State because my mind and heart was set on going to Oakland University with one of my childhood friends, Kendrick Nunn. And I wanted to go there and have a chance in leading the country in assists because he led the country in scoring that year. Just really being able to do that and have that type of experience. But, when Boise State called, I remember Derek Marks playing there, and just from afar, I saw the program from afar a couple of times, being from the Midwest and, having that kind of East Coast bias with basketball. I didn't pay that much attention to Boise State, but I knew who they were. So I decided to take the visit, and on the visit, like right away, you could tell that the culture was intact, and I felt like I fit in very well just from the moment that I met all the guys, meeting Chandler Hutchison, meeting Chris Sangfelder, who just decided to transfer to grad transfer as well. My host was Malik Harwell, meeting Justinian and DA. Like, it was just Marcus Dickinson. I can go on and on. Alex Hobbs, like on and on about that team. And of course, Zach Haney, like it was like, okay, I fit in with these guys. And I feel like this could be a home away from home for me. And the way that, Coach Rice made me feel, and Coach Burns, that staff, they did a great job on my visit. And, it just felt like a home away from home pretty much. And I felt like I got along with everybody.
That's great. That's always what's important, is finding that culture that really fits you.
Yeah.
So going through that grad year, you guys had a really good year, finished second in the Mountain West, and go to the Mountain West tournament, fighting for an NCAA tournament bid, and you lose to the fighting Tim Dury's at Utah State. Talk a little bit about that game, and does TD ever give you some crap about that game?
He actually doesn't, which is funny, but he talks about how he saw us. So, at the tournament, how when you're leaving the practice or your shoot around, when you walk up the stairs and the other team is on the other side walking down the stairs, he was saying that he saw us and he looked and he was like, something is up with them. So that's how he knew like they might have had a chance, because that's the game that we were supposed to win. And, from what I remember from that game, it's like I started out so hot. Like, I think I had like 18 points in the first half. And the one thing that I remember and that me and my teammates always talk about is how we would come into those huddles in the first half, and I would be the one yelling at them like, all right, if y'all not gonna play, I'm gonna play. Like, I'm going out fighting. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going out fighting. So y'all can get with it, or I'm just trying to take us to the promised land. And they always laugh about that just because I was that type of leader that could get fiery like that, especially in those huddles. I mean, you've seen what Abu did. I was that guy for that team. And it's just always funny to reminisce about those moments. But, that was a good individual game for myself, but it wasn't enough. And Sam Merrill, got really hot, and the Fighting Duryers won that night.
So that's sometimes the way it goes. You let a guy get hot, you make a couple shots, see the ball go through, and ends up affecting the game. And so after that, you guys played in the NIT, and then after that, you kind of had to find a spot. And talk a little about like that transition from after college. Like, what did you do? Obviously, you got your degree in accounting. We'll get into that a little bit, but how did you kind of find your footing after college?
Well, the first thing I'll say is it was really hard. Being a person, especially being where I'm from in Chicago, like basketball is everything. And when you don't basically, and for lack of a better term, pan out, and I'm not really trying to say like you have to become a professional or not, but as a kid, the one thing that you're thinking about is being a professional basketball player. Sometimes you're not even thinking about being a college athlete. It's more like, I'm going to be a pro. So for me, it was really hard to transition out of playing. And when I first got out, I was chasing that professional dream like really hard. And I ended up getting drafted to the G League, getting cut in training camp with the Texas Legends. And from there, I never found anything. There was a couple of contracts that I could have took overseas, but it was for really small money. And for me, it wasn't worth it. I felt like, I could use my accounting degree and set myself up financially for the long term. So that's where that transition came in. And that's how I found my footing, just leaning back on really taking school seriously. And also the relationships that I built in school. Because, one thing that they, like the masses, that they don't tell you is that you should be networking while you're in school. And now with, NIL, I mean, this is the perfect way for you guys to build those relationships with businesses and business owners. So that's really how I ended up finding my footing after not playing.
Well, it looks like Wyoming just beat San Jose on a buzzer beater.
Yeah, I see that. That's crazy.
We need to see a video of that after this. But
Yes.
yeah,
Wow.
I have to agree with the networking thing. Like using NIL now, you're talking to so many business owners and even a lot more donors because you're allowed to go to dinners and stuff like that. And I think
Absolutely.
just building those relationships, putting a name to a face, and always checking in every once in a while, that goes a long way because obviously we're in the spotlight as players, but sometimes the smallest text means a lot to a person, knowing that they care about them and things like that. And so I got to ask, how is it getting a job offer to come back to Boise State as a coach?
Oh, it was everything. And Coach Rice is funny because he's a mastermind. He always scheming something. And I remember from day one, though, when they recruited me, I told them what I wanted to do after playing. Like, I already had that set in my mind because, for me, I ended up getting hurt my sophomore year. And that's when I really had to think beyond basketball. So that was also one of the things that, I needed to have in place with wherever I went. And they knew from day one that afterward it was I wanted to be, an athletic director, a coach, or, in the NBA coaching or in the front office. And, being in this position, that has given me that opportunity. So Coach Rice would call me while I was at my accounting job, maybe once every other month. he would call me on like a dreadful Monday, like in the middle of a Monday, and just be like, "How you liking?" And I'm like, "Coach, this sucks." He was like, "Well, we got to get you back." And when JD came in, he made it possible for me to be in this position.
What have you taken really from coming back? Like what are some things that you've really learned and really loved about having this job?
Really just to basically be a guy for you guys that I didn't have, and just being that big brother, because I think I've been in every role that you can be in. I've been in a role where I was starting as a freshman, an all-conference player, but I've also been the guy that doesn't play. I've been the guy on scout team. I've been the guy that only gets in, up 20 or down 20. So I think just being able to have that perspective and help you guys through it, not only just in basketball, but just in life as well. That's what I really love most about this. And then just seeing how you guys develop as people and as players.
Derek's got a question for you. Lex, you talked about how you would get on your teammates as a player. How have you adapted or stayed the same as a coach?
I would say it's the same as I was as a player. I wasn't the player, like I wasn't constantly on guys. I was more of a positive reinforcement guy. But at the same time, if I knew that we needed to get it going, I could get on guys. Like I remember coming to huddles and, I might go to Chandler and be like, "Hey, it's time for you to go. Like you're supposed to be the best player in the conference. Like it's time." Like things like that, or going to Justinian, like we need you to make a shot. Like I'll get you one. Just make it. I got you. And then now, as a coach, Tyson, you can attest to this. I'll come up to you and be like, "Bro, you don't have a rebound. Like we need you to get a rebound. You need to get one offensive rebound," or, coming to you like, "Hey, you're an all-league player. Like play like it. It's time. It's time to go."
Yeah, that's 100% true. I remember the no rebound one. That one was probably 12 minutes in the game. I had no rebounds. I'm like, man, I really do need to get a rebound because sometimes you get in the game, you don't realize it, and then you stop at the timeout. You're like, someone tells you that, and you just kind of think, like, man. And then obviously talking about Jay, you definitely do that for Max and Buzo, always telling them to be ready for a shot and always be ready. And so I definitely do appreciate what you bring into the staff. I know obviously Coach Burns is really hard on us, and you bring that like positive reinforcement that we need to kind of balance with that. So I really do appreciate that as a player.
That's what it's all about. When like, hey, I know I'm good. I've seen you guys put the work in, and I've been in the gym with you guys, and now being able to be in this role and being on court with you and helping with that skill development, I think, when we get into games, my confidence is at an all-time high with you guys out there because I know that you put that work in.
Absolutely. And so now I kind of want to transition. You actually have your own podcast. It's called My Voice, My Story. Derek kind of mentioned it here in this comment. Talk a little about that, and when can we get Buzo on there?
Oh, okay. Is that the guest that everybody wants? Okay, we can do that. Buzo is an interesting character too, but to answer that question, really it didn't start with me. It started with Coach Barsh, and I really just kind of adopted the podcast. And I saw what he was doing with it, and I wanted to kind of take it and do it in my own way. But really, for me, I'm in it to allow student athletes to tell their stories. and allow people to see them beyond them in their uniforms. I think one of the biggest things, we talk about the NIL space and being able to have business owners have real conversations and build those relationships. I think it's even better when the full community can get a sense of who you are as a person. Because a lot of times, you might struggle with some of the same things a young kid or high schooler is struggling with, or even an adult, you know what I mean, as a student athlete. And, you might come from the same background as somebody else. And for you to be able to articulate that story and allow people to really have a perspective on it, I think it only helps you, and it helps the university as a whole and the community for us to, kind of, tell jokes and tell that story and understand each other from a human level, rather than it being like, oh, that's Tyson Degenhart, the basketball player. Really, they look at you as like, that's Tyson Degenhart. I know him. He's a well-spoken young man. They know your family. You talk about your dad coming to the game and his birthday, things like that. That's what makes it special.
Absolutely. I think you've done a great job with that, and making sure that people know that we're more than just what we wear on the uniform. And it looks like Derek still laughs about how my mom didn't like the too small gesture. Yeah, that was.
You had to get rid of that. No,
yeah, I had to get rid of that
celebration.
I think I came home from the Washington State game my freshman year, and my mom mentions, like, why do you do that? And then I'm like, I don't know. Probably because they're too small. And like, you need to act more professional on the court. I'm like, okay, because mom's always right.
She is.
She's always right. It's funny, like, how wise parents are before you even realize it. Like,
yeah.
Like, now I'm at an age where I'm like, whatever my parents says is probably going to be right, because
you catching that. Yeah, you catching that early in life, because some people don't realize it until out of college. So it's good that you understand that now.
When did you realize that?
Oh, man, I had to work on that for a while. I thought I could do everything by myself and on my own. That is not true.
Yeah, it's definitely hard being on your own. But I do want to ask, how does it feel to be on the opposite side of a podcast, like be the guest instead of the host tonight?
I feel comfortable, I would say, just because I've had practice as a player being interviewed, I would say.
Yeah, I hope I haven't thrown too many curveball questions at you.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, so Lisa asks, Coach Moat said he's the rebound coach. What is your specialty, Lex?
Oh, my specialty. That's a great question. So in my role, what I do is I help Coach Duryea with the offense. So, there'll be play calls that he wants before a game, and we'll script it and go through the script during the game. And then as the flow of the game happens, really throwing out suggestions to him and advice. So that's really where I am now as a coach. And then, outside of the game, I would say my specialty has been skill development. I think that as a player, I've been able to adjust as a coach and really teach guys, footwork and ball handling and shooting and post moves. Like, me and you get in the gym all the time, Tyson, and, I'm working on a bunch of different things with you and also with Max and a few other guys. So I would say those are my two specialties right now.
Do you, like, when you're in the game, I know a lot of coaches have papers, do you write down what plays are called and, like, what happens on that possession?
Yeah. Yep. So we know everything that's going on. Got to have data to back it up.
And so, like, when we do our, like, points per possession, it's based on, like, what you write down, so then you can go through it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was thinking that right, because there's a lot of people, a lot of papers, especially during a game. I know Bernie, at the end of the game, has a paper stack folded about that thick for every, like, stat sheet and everything like that. So.
Yeah, because he's marking down what's going on defensively, and then you got Matt Charles who's doing the paint touches. Like, it's a lot of moving parts, but everything comes together because everything is for a reason and a purpose.
Absolutely. We got time for one or two more questions. I'll just ask the signature question now, because in case someone in the comments has one really late, but it's my signature question. Ask everyone on the show. I think it gives a great description of, like, who you are as a person and kind of your upbringing. So it's, who in your life has made the biggest impact on you besides your close friends and family?
Biggest impact. I want to say I want to say Leon, but I can't say that.
You can say that. I mean,
I
it's
knew you
still
were going there. I knew you were going there.
You can't say Leon, but I have to. I really do. He's had the biggest impact on my life, and I remember we had a donor event, and I spoke in front of them, and I let them know, like, hey, me being here and me going to Boise State and having this opportunity, not only as a player but as a coach, that's all because of Leon, and I'm not afraid to say it. Like, he's changed my life, and he has poured into me like no other. The investment that he's made into me as a player, and then to, like I say, come back as a coach, and really learning from him. I get to see him day in and day out, and seeing what he does and how he does it. And if I have a chance to be a head coach someday, I'm going to do it exactly how he does it, because it works and it's proven. So I would say he's probably had the biggest impact on my life.
He's definitely had a big impact in yours, and definitely on mine. I kind of go back to this on my visit my junior year. We were at Deli George, and he asked me, what do you want to do after college? Do you want to play pro? And I'm like, I don't know, if the opportunity presents itself. He's like, no, you're going to play pro after college. And looking back on that, he was kind of like the first person to really like invest in me and believe in me and into my dream of like playing beyond college. And I appreciate Coach tremendously for that. And I'll second what you said. I think I'm here because of Coach as well, just how he is with the players, what kind of program he runs, how professional it is. So can't thank Coach Rice enough. So
now Cody says it's him.
Oh, Cody G too, for sure.
Yeah, Cody's
Cody G too. He get a shout out.
Awesome. Yeah. Lex, I appreciate you coming on. I know I was a little rusty tonight for a first show in a while, but thanks for coming on. This was a great combo. Wish we could have gone longer, but we got to go watch this New Mexico game.
Yeah, we got to get to it, but appreciate you for having me on, man. You're doing a great job, man. Keep taking advantage of all your opportunities. And BJ, thank you so much for starting Bronco Nation News, because without you, we wouldn't be here. So this is awesome. I love what you guys are doing.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Lex. Thanks, man. We'll be seeing you soon, and we appreciate you, man.
See you tomorrow, Lex.
There he is, Lexus Williams. Tyson, not bad, man. Not bad for the first time in a month.
A little rusty, but it's always easy to talk to Lex. He can always keep a conversation going, has great insight, and has a great story. So glad to have him on the show tonight.
We put Cody's comment up there, but what's it mean, man, to have I've been covering this team for 11 years, man. I know you're only here in your third year, but it's pretty rare to have somebody in the administration travel into the road games and being as big a part of the program as Cody has been. Before Cody and Jeremiah got here, man, that was pretty rare to have somebody like Cody go into all these games. It has to mean a lot to you guys.
No, it means the world. Just knowing how Cody goes about his business, and along with Jeremiah as well. But he always asks me about my family, how they're doing. Just all those little things mean a lot to me, that they're building a relationship more than just with us as players, and with our parents and our family and our friends. And it just means a lot that we have an administration that really cares about us.
I've been trying for the last 10 minutes here to find the buzzer beater so we could show that on the screen here, but I can't find it. But you have a buzzer beater tonight to start out Mountain West play. Wyoming getting the win over San Jose State. San Jose State was up 17 on the road, let it slip. How do you think the Spartans are going to be feeling come Friday night?
I think they're going to come out very, very motivated, knowing that they kind of let one slip away. I know Laramie is a hard place to play, but they were playing really well in the first half, shooting the ball. They're a very good rebounding team, so it doesn't matter what anyone's record is in the Mountain West. You got to bring your A game each and every night to win.
And what about that game last year? You guys went there late in the season, right in between a big win. I think it was against New Mexico. You had San Diego State coming up. You guys went there and didn't play your best, and Amari Moore and some other guys had a big game. You guys fell in overtime. I would assume you guys are that you're still thinking about that tough game last year, and that might be a motivating factor on Friday.
It definitely will be. I remember that game. I think we were up, 8 or 10 with 8 or 10 minutes to go, and we kind of just, ran out of steam on offense, and then just couldn't get the stops that we needed to. And that was a game that we definitely let slip away. And looking back, that kind of, with San Diego State making the buzzer beater at New Mexico, that kind of sealed the fate of the Mountain West there, and definitely was a hard one to come back from.
Well, it'll be Friday night in San Jose. We appreciate you, Tyson. We appreciate Lexus Williams for coming on as well. We appreciate all the great comments. Sam says, stay awesome, you guys. Great show. Lisa says, great show. Thank you, guys. Go Broncos. A lot of other comments coming in. So appreciate everybody. Any final words, Tyson? I know we got to try to sneak in another episode later this month, but we took the month of December off, but back at it. And obviously, as I said, conference play starting, best time of the year, and that early bye. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not, but you guys are watching some other games, and you're kind of what the grind is that ahead, and you're taking advantage, I guess, of these extra couple of days, and it'll get going here fast and furious here in a couple of days.
Absolutely, and I think this bye is actually a blessing for us, just to kind of regroup as a team, make sure we're on the same page going into conference play, and continuing to get better. We had practice the past 2 days, and we really got better on those 2 days. And so we got to come in tomorrow with our practice being ready to go, dialed in for the San Jose Scout, and just continuing to get better each and every day.
Well, again, thank you to our friends at Idaho Central Credit Union for making this possible. Check them out, iccu.com, the best in mobile e-branch online banking. They have a NIL deal with Tyson Degenhart. They're making this show possible. So go support our folks at Idaho Central Credit Union, iccu.com. Again, there's a branch pretty much in every corner, but if not, you can check them out online, iccu.com. And our friend over at Lean Feast as well. Don't forget about Dave and his staff. They do a tremendous job. Healthy eating. Check them out, leanfeast.com/Meridian. They're taking care of Tyson and Brooke and a lot of other athletes over at Boise State. So check them out, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Healthy eating. And I can't wait to get back to Boise and get back on the healthy eating train at Lean Feast. I need it, Tyson. I'm going to be back in there fast and furious as soon as I get back into town. But great healthy eating and looking forward to it. And conference play, man, it's an awesome time and looking forward to it. Starting off Friday night in San Jose, Bronco Nation News. I will be there on Friday in San Jose. We're scheduled to be at every game the rest of the season. The only local media outlet that's traveling on the road with the team this year is Bronco Nation News. So hopefully you guys know when you're looking for your Boise State coverage, you're going to Bronco Nation News, and you're going to the Tyson Degenhart Show here monthly on Bronco Nation News. So Tyson, appreciate it, man. Stay healthy and safe travels, and we'll see you in San Jose, man.
Will do. Thank you. Safe travels to you as well.
There he is, Tyson Degenhart. The Tyson Degenhart Show, again, presented by Idaho Central Credit Union. Thanks again to Lexus Williams for joining us, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning. John Mallory is my guest, 9 a.m. Mountain Time for Bronco Nation News Live. We got Mike Prater on Thursday, Jay Tust on Friday, and then we'll talk to you from the what's the name of their arena there in
Providence Credit Union.
Okay, there you go. We don't name other credit unions on here, do we? I don't know, but I guess
we played the Mountain America Credit Union over in Idaho Falls. So
that's fair. That's fair. All right. But yeah, we'll be there, and probably not a big crowd. We'll see what the crowd's like on Friday night. We'll bring you warm-ups live, and we'll bring you all the good stuff on the pregame show Friday from San Jose. So thanks again to Tyson. Thanks again to Lexus. Thanks to Nate, Lowry, and Cody, and everybody over at Boise State for helping us out. And thanks for all the great comments. Go enjoy the New Mexico-Colorado State game just underway. Should be fun. And we'll talk to you guys 9 a.m. tomorrow. John Mallory now, Bronco Nation News Live. Have a great rest of your evening. Again, check us out, Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. The Tyson Degenhart Show, I believe this is episode 11. We'll talk to you again, Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.